Welcome to the UKOCR Community Podcast, presented by Obstacle Racing Media. Each episode, we'll be talking to race directors, elite runners, weekend warriors, and frankly, anyone else from the UKOCR scene that will talk to us. Here is your host, Alan, aka Muddy Duck.
Anywhere in Chicken Town. The bloody scene is bloody sad. The bloody news is bloody bad.
This podcast is brought to you in partnership with Builder Sport, the world's strongest hydration, which is recommended and used by world-renowned athlete Hunter McIntyre. They don't just do hydration though, but supplements too. So check them out at builderinternational.com. That's BLDR international.com. You can even save 10% by using code UKHXR. As always, we're not going to partner with a product that we don't use ourselves. So yes, we do use Builder on those long training runs, and we can confirm it's amazing. Don't just take our word for it though. Here's Hyrox Elite Top 15 athlete Tom Hogan to tell you more about why you should buy it.
Hi, it's Tom here. You should buy some Builder because the kids are growing out their shoes, they're always hungry and annoying me, and I need some money to pay for all this shit.
Listeners, have I got a treat for you today? We have got everyone from Forders and Dave on the phone here, and we're going to talk about the newly released 3K National Champion. I'm going to call it a championship. It is not 3K National Championship. Am I right in saying that, Dave?
Yes, you are, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, let's go around the table. Let's do some introductions first. Our listeners know they'll then get used to the voices. Everyone knows yours, Dave, so you can just stay there and just smile and go
off again.
No, yeah. I thought he was making it up.
For you, Dave, as well, we actually you get a mention on the Swift Half that's just gone by. So for listeners, we're recording this before the Swift Half, but Dave gets a mention on the Swift Half. I can't tell him what's said, but he might shout at me right on this recording today. But yeah. Darren, do you want to tell everyone who you are and that?
Yeah, I'm Darren Forder from here, Forder's Gym. Probably tell by my name. Yeah, so I suppose I started this gym about, what was it, 8 years ago? 8, I think. Yeah, a couple of weeks before Scriv came in. I knew he was going to come in anyway. So I just thought I'd start without him and he wanted to join in. That Scriv's Ash.
Yeah, that's Ash Scriven over
here.
So
I pretended I didn't need him, and then I knew he'd have to come down and ask me. So that's how that started. And then we've just kind of built from there, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, you're well known to a lot of our listeners from the UKHXR Fitness Racing podcast. You know, Ian's, I'm going to say, he's a regular down at your gym quite recently. He's been down there every week.
That's it. Well, we see a lot of Ian or speak to him, so I'm more familiar with that side of it than the OCR. Yeah, so I was expecting him to be on today, but yeah, the OCR stuff's a little bit new to us. That's why we've got Dave involved, and we've got to look at this.
Cool, excellent. Where did the idea? Whose idea was it, first of all, for the 3K? Was it yours, Darren? Or?
With the 3K, or we're doing OCR?
Well, Ian's already told me. Let's go OCR first, because Ian's already told me OCR. Because he told me that you'd done, you did some games earlier this year. Am I right in saying some games earlier this year, which you ran outside and things like that? And Ian was saying, yeah, you were building something.
Where we're based, we moved out. Well, we were inside and we moved outside. Kind of with COVID, didn't we? Started taking a bit more space. Got into the outdoor training, and that kind of grew. The people who own the land, we work quite closely with them. And they took on, I think they bought a bit more land, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And we talked the idea for a couple of years of what we could do with it. And then we thought, is there an opportunity? Because having a permanent course there, spoke to a few people. Ian being my go-to person on these things. I kind of asked him a few questions about it. And he said, there's a couple of people you want to speak to. And Dave's name kept coming up. So we spoke to him and took it from there. Come down, didn't you? And thought there is an opportunity there. But this is like, we started this, it's over a year, isn't it? We've been working on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like that long, does it? But when you look at it, it's been quite a while getting going.
Have you done OCRs yourself, or because I know you're heavily into the fitness racing scene and that, you know, IROCs and things like that. Have you done any OCRs yourself?
Actually, if we're honest, if I'll be completely honest, that's why we need to speak to people who knew what they were doing. More like we felt like we got an opportunity, didn't know too much about it. I've not done much OCR at all. Ash has done a little bit more than me. Max, you've probably done about the same amount as me. Yeah. So we knew we needed someone else who knew what they were doing, just to try and do it justice, really.
So why did you get Dave involved if you wanted someone who knew what they were doing? Sorry, Dave.
Well, that was Ian. Ian said, in fact, who did we speak to first? James first.
James, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then he said, I don't think he didn't want to do it. So he said, speak to Dave. And then, yeah, Dave came down. It turns out he looked to me like he knew what he was doing. Some of the conversations you lads were having about wood and angles and paints and things like that, I couldn't follow it all, to be honest. But,
Straw and hay as well, mate.
oh, yeah, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, we all know Dave knows what he's doing. So a little private joke there between me and 1,000 listeners. So the 3K National Championship, where did that idea come from?
I suppose that came after Dave had been down, had a little look at what we were doing. But we were completely raw with the idea. We definitely wanted to do something to do with obstacles and obstacle course. But when he got involved, he looked at it, and that's where you saw there was a bit of a...
Yeah, you can see there's a hole there. So, like, for me, when you look at the market in OCR, you can see that there's obviously now a division. You've got the 100-metre distance, the 3K distance, and then the long course, kind of the classic kind of 12, 15-kilometre distance. So when it comes to looking at a new course and a new centre and all the options that are going to come with it, for me, it made sense to be able to look at all of those distances and make sure that whatever these guys afforders were going to build, it make sure that it suits all of those distances and it can be flexible. And that's kind of where the 3K came from. And so the idea of putting a 3-kilometre course together that can be adaptable is kind of where it stemmed from. And it gives us an opportunity to kind of test out with a high quality athletic field, with good quality racers and fun runners, open up the course to everyone, use the course as an overall kind of test as well for the bigger things that are to come in the future as well.
No, I like the idea. I mean, we know that Spartan's going down this route, don't we, Dave? You know, like where they're going invite only for the 3K race and things like that. So it'd be great to get more 3K races or shorter distances, you know, that are a bit longer than 100 metres under our belts, because that's where, you know, if the best athletes are going to go there, we need to have the courses, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And we also, you've got to look at it as an entry pathway as well. So if we're looking at trying to bring more people into the sport overall anyway, just in terms of participation, then you've got to have something in between. You know, someone who looks at a 10K, 12K distance, they might find that quite intimidating. But someone who looks at 3K as a first timer, then that gives a real option for them to genuinely have a go at it. It's less than a park run, but it's going to challenge them just as much as the obstacle element to any other course. So it's a good opportunity for everybody to kind of try it for the first time, as well as an opportunity to put some short course racing in.
Excellent. Yeah, I like it. How different will this be to the Spartan 3K?
Certainly more technical. So, I mean, Spartan 3K creates a nice platform to kind of build from, in my opinion. I think everybody knows Spartan know what they're doing when it comes to their brand. But I think if you're going to look at trying to bring a championship standard racing, then you use that as a blueprint, and then you can kind of build on the technicality of it. So you can add a little bit more technical aspect to it. You can play up a little bit on the Forders kind of footprint. So you can play up on the fact that these guys really know what they're doing in their strength and conditioning side of things. So you would like to see some of that character and identity. So we're definitely going to look to try and build that within the course as well. So you're going to kind of put some things on steroids from a Spartan's point of view. So maybe from the strength perspective and then from the technical aspect. But you can also look at a Spartan 3K and use it as a blueprint, if you like, to kind of map it out as regards to creating a good balance across the course.
Yeah, I mean, that is what Spartan have probably got a good balance. Not keen on their format. I'm hoping you're not going to say to me now they're going to follow the Spartan format of 20 runners and then whittle it down. What's the plans with the format? Have you got that far down the line yet?
Yeah, again, you know, we're bouncing ideas off, making sure that we get it right and we pick the right way, the right format for it. But no, there's not going to be knockout formats. There's going to be none of that qualification side of things. It's literally a straight race to the finish line. Fastest time's going to win. It's likely that it'll be almost not seeded, because we don't necessarily have a ranking system that we can use to seed things, but we will look to try and find as close to a seeding as we can to give people good races against people in their age categories or in their elite field where they would find themselves racing against those people from the start. And it will be from the start line to the finish line. Whoever gets across the line fastest will be the winner.
Like it. Coming back to Darren and the team at Forders there, do you see a crossover from the functional fitness side of athletes? Do you think they're going to have a go at this?
We're hoping to do, because we've had a look at it, the OCR, and I think there's a lot of people that don't, especially people involved in what we're doing around here, they don't really know what's going on, do they?
No.
So that's why this event, we put on 2 events on the same day. So we've got a Deca strong on the same day, just to try and get a few more people in so they can see it, have a look at it, and hopefully they'll want to get involved after. So I'm sure that the people here definitely will.
Yeah,
The community
definitely,
here.
yeah.
That must be quite a challenge for yourself logistically there, putting two big events. You know, everyone knows about Decker and what that attracts, and that. I mean, the Strongs. That there's no running. Am I right in saying there's no running in the Strong?
There's no running, so it could be the wrong audience, couldn't it? Really, but
Yeah. Well, who
hopefully
knows? But
trying to do all three. That's it.
yeah, you do get a lot of OCR people that have now gone into the functional fitness and that. And I guess it does lead. The 3K does lead a little bit into the functional fitness side of things, because look at IROCs, 7K running. You know, that's the maximum. We look at a lot of the Deckers. The Deckers are short running. There's no long distances in the Deckers. Nuclear Fit, again, that's down in London. That was 5K. So it's heading down to that shorter distance, which 3K OCR, it does mean that people who are training these shorter distance can easily make a transfer into OCR. I'm liking it.
Short course helps, doesn't it? I mean, you can take that. The less you need to have less of your work being done on the running side of things, but you can still perform at a high level over a 3K. The minute you try and take yourself to a longer distance, then you really have to focus on running as a separate training sort of component in your programming. So it does give that appeal to both the functional fitness world as well as the obstacle racing world. I think you've seen quite a lot of obstacle racers go and try their hand at functional fitness racing. And I'd like to think that it's going to be the short course and the faster paced stuff that the functional fitness guys will be more attracted to. Probably the cleaner stuff as well. So less of the emphasis on water, less of the emphasis on the mud and the boggy side of things that you would get from a sort of classic cross country style OCR. So I think the appeal is far higher on a short course than it would be on a long course. You try and convert functional fitness bodies to come and get involved in cross country style, then it'll be a lot harder. But the short course will be able to convince a few people, because let's be honest, a lot of these functional fitness racers will be good at it. All they need to do is apply the technical side of things, and they'll have all the physical characteristics. You know, we've tried this out. We've tested some of this stuff on using functional fitness athletes already, and we've already seen that when it comes to the physical element, they're there. You know, when it comes to the speed, they're there. It's just the technical element. So all they need to do is learn that technical side of things, and you're going to see some fast people coming into the sport. I've got no doubt about it.
Cool. Let's talk a bit of technical, because you touched earlier on about it being, there's going to be a bit of technical in there. Are Taurus coming to play? Are we having a Taurus rig there, or alternative rig? Other names available out there?
Yeah, well, like you say, it's difficult for us to give too much information without kind of giving the detail of the setups in the rigs. But one thing that you can take is that Taurus have obviously set up a partnership with British Obstacle Sports, so it's very highly likely that we'll be finding a way to work with them on the basis that this is obviously a British championship. Then it comes down to Ford is set up itself individually, so that the types of equipment that we've designed onto this course will obviously all be there as well. It's going to have some high rigs, it's going to have some low rigs, you're going to see some technical elements and components. You're probably going to see some elements of obstacles being used in ways which we maybe haven't seen used in this country as well. If anyone knows how I work and my style and my influence on obstacle design, it's I definitely like to try and challenge people in a way that they maybe haven't been challenged so much of in English and UK races. So there will definitely be more of a European feel. So when you think about things like Taurus and companies like those guys operating in Poland, Holland, those kind of countries, you can definitely expect to see that sort of stuff turn up on this course. Yeah,
like to hear that. You know, the progression, we talk about this quite a lot on our podcasts about progression, getting our best athletes racing in similar conditions to what they do in Europe and the Worlds. You know, we want our athletes to be competing at that level, and to be competing at that level, they need to be training at that level. Louise Ferryman put a post out, I think, after the Worlds recently, and she put that at the last Worlds she'd failed the rig. It took a band, and then this time she smashed it 3 times, and that's because she was training with you and your guys and moving along those lines. So we do need these challenges in our racing calendar, don't we?
Yeah, for sure. And certainly, like you say, when you touch on it from a training perspective, and that's right. And the good thing I'd say in the UK scene is that the technical side of the training has definitely improved over the last few years. You know, that comes from doing the coaching courses, comes from upskilling more people into coaching roles, using more experience, obviously, as time goes by. But what we also need is races at those distances, races in those formats, because we're qualifying and training on long courses and then sending our athletes to the World Championships, having had hardly any 3 kilometre distance. You know, we did quite a bit of time trialing around the COVID times. But that's definitely quieting down now that the normal scene is kind of returning. So to see a facility like Forders come in, invest good money, put things done properly with real thought and real investment behind it, and then that's a facility that can literally help host short course all the way through to long course, it's only a good thing. It's only a good thing for the country. Yeah,
very much. Well, while we're on that subject, Darren, will Forders be open for training sessions after this? Or, well, I'm not going to say before because I can't give too much away, but will it be open for training sessions where people can come along and practice their OCR skills there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the plan. I mean, do you mean before this race or after the race?
Well, I don't want to say before the race, so I'm not going to jump there. People are not going to go on the course.
That's definitely, and that's why we work so closely with Dave on this, and that's to get someone. I mean, you can probably tell from when he's speaking, he's literally from the start, all the details and the design of it has come down to Dave. So even the way we've done it has allowed us to be able to do all those things. So that is the plan.
Perfect. Can you tell us how many obstacles we're going to see?
You're probably looking somewhere between sort of 15 and 20. We're around the sort of 15 to 20 count at the moment, depending on the exact setup that we do. The rule book will be out pretty soon. We're trying to get it out nice and early so everyone has a good opportunity to see what the course is about and prepare themselves. So yeah, we're probably looking somewhere, probably fastest times are anywhere around 16, 17 minutes, all the way up to probably half an hour that you're going to see through the fastest sort of times on the course. It's a mixed terrain, so you'll have the beauty over here is that a large section of the course is on an all-weather track, which means that we can use it in any condition, so we can nullify some of those issues that you sometimes get with weather. So we've got a good portion of the track which is kind of all-weather terrain, and then we're using the typical cross-country route, grass route, trail. We try and find as much interest in the grounds and that we can, and then build in some nice unique obstacles that you won't have seen before. So it's that perfect balance. There's this little bit of elevation to it. There's some change of direction, some rapid sort of agility work, balance work. So you think about any test that you can have for an obstacle athlete, and all of it will be covered. I'm pretty confident in that.
Perfect. Let's talk divisions. You know, you talked earlier about you weren't going to, I guess, rank people. You know, we do have a ranking system in the UKOCR race series, if you like. You know, you can use that. You're free to use that or anything that we can help you with.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess you're not going to be able to get 100 runners on the course at one time. So you've got to have some type of system, and you would want potentially to see. I would want, from a spectator point of view, to be seeing the top 10 races in the UK turning up and running against each other in the same race. So yeah. I'm hoping you're going to be doing something along those lines. But are you going to have like age category groups? Are you going to have overall age category, para? What are we having divisions?
Yeah, so it's kind of a mixed bag. So yeah, we've got exactly what you're saying, really. So we've got an elite division. Obviously, everyone decides. There's no qualification for this. That's the good thing. It's open for any BOS member to sort of race in any category that they feel is best suitable. There's an elite category. That elite obviously will be the main championship racing. We're doing age group categories. So we start the age group categories in the championship from 14 to 17. So then you'll see an 18 to 24 category, and then you'll see 5-year categories, i.e. 20 to 24, all the way up to the 60 plus. And then 60 plus is a category on its own. Then we'll do para category as well. So we've already got some signed up, I believe. So we should have a good para entry field. Obviously, there'll be some adaptations on the course for those guys as well. But, you know, I was out with the worlds with a couple of those guys, and they're seriously impressive with what they can do. So we're really looking forward to seeing them on the course.
That's amazing. Are you going to drop us a few names? Have we got Dan Tipcombe coming? Morgan Morgan will be there.
I've not seen a start list. I'm trying to stay away from that. That's Ash's job. That's not on me.
Ash, come on, you can tell me. Have you got that start list in front of you? I need to know
Not in
names.
front of me, Alan. I can reel some names off to you, but you might have mentioned a few that I've kind of seen in there. So yeah, expect to see some good people in there.
And I know that there, from my personal point of view, I know that we've got a few of our good fast racers going, especially the guys that are big fans of the short course. I know we've got some of the ninjas moving over. So Tommy Matthews, big shout out to Tommy. Everyone knows what his climbing and his ninja ability is. He's moving across into OCR as well, which is nice to see. So I understand that he's coming. We've got some good fast racers across the board, really, from the male and the female divisions already. So yeah, generally speaking, it's going to be really good. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it as well.
Awesome. It sounds amazing. I think I'm getting myself down there. Prizes. Do we have prizes for these athletes, or is it kudos? I think it's just cute. Should be kudos, but I know you guys are keen on prizes. Will there be prizes in that on the day, or?
Yeah, it's likely. So the idea is that we'll have trophies on the elite fields. We'll have age group medals, so we'll be able to reward those in the age group competitive divisions as well. We'll have some sort of finishing token as well, whether it be medal. We haven't fully committed to which one we're going with yet, but we'll have a finishing token of some kind for everybody. So we will look at a system where everyone will walk away with something, and obviously there will be a reward for those that are winning their categories, podiums on their categories, certainly in the elite field.
Awesome. You know what we should have next year? I'm going to jump in ahead here because I'm going to say this is going to keep on going this. At any of the short courses, Dave, we should have coins. You know, like the old Spartan used to give coins away. I've got visions of James Burton just walking up to someone who's done really well at a race and going, "There's your coin for the championship elite race." That's like proper Illuminati stuff.
I was wondering where you were going with
it. You know my thoughts on the Illuminati. I love them all to bits. I don't say anything else. So one thing, yeah, I've noticed you're missing out on here, guys. You're not an OCR buddy. How come we haven't got the race on OCR buddy?
Do you know what, mate? We're so busy doing so many things. It's one of them literal simplest tasks to get done that hasn't been done yet. It will be there. Don't you worry about that. Maybe that's your job, Alan. Maybe it's your job to get in touch with the guys and then to put them onto it.
Shall we do it right now? While we're online here, and
yeah,
we can tell our audience exactly what it is. Let's load the OCR buddy. So we are going to create a new event. Here we go. We're going to submit an event. 12th of December, isn't it? 12th of November, sorry, not December.
November.
2023. British, what's its official name? British National 3K National Championships? What's its official name?
British 3K. British 3K Championships.
British 3K. Should we call it National Championships?
Go for it.
Yeah, I think we should. Champion. See, this is me marketing now. Look at this. Event description. Event description. I'm going to just put the greatest 3K in UK history.
Yeah.
Will be made.
Copywriter, Alan, there.
Yeah. Will be made. No, because I'm going to put. I'll put my name to this. Will be made today, as said by UKOCR. There you go. That gets all any copywriters out of the way.
You can put facts in there that it's historically correct, isn't it? It's the first ever 3K national championship this country's ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the greatest, isn't it? Yeah. OCR. Right. So location. We need a postcode.
B98.
B98.
9DB Delta Bravo.
9 Delta Bravo. Search for location. Here we go. Google's working its magic. Redditch. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Look at that. Let's go. I've got to put. I put 3K in the title. It asked me for it. Now I want a website. Where do we sign up?
That's forwardersgymbirmingham.co.uk. On our events page there, you'll find it there.
Forwarders Gym Birmingham.
Yeah.
.co.uk.
There's the championship race, and then for those you just want to run in the open wave, they can also click through to there, so they can have a go after all the age groups and elites and the para categories to go through.
Perfect. What's starting price? We need a starting price.
It's £40.
£40. Look at that, straight in there. I put US dollars, but we'll change that to pounds. Submitters, guys, look at that. You're in. See it on OCR, buddy. That's live. We've done that. It's the first time we've ever done that live in a podcast that day. That's good, that, isn't it?
And it only took a couple of minutes as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. Guys, before I let you go, thank you for joining me. Before I let you go, we've told everyone anything. Is there anything you want to add to it?
It's going to be a ban system. So it's going to be a ban system race.
Oh,
so
that was it. Yeah.
It's quite important probably for these guys listening. So it's going to be a ban system race. It will follow the international ban system. So there'll be 3 bans per racer. Penalty loops for if you lose a single or a double with 2 bans. If you lose all 3, then you'll be out of the competitive rankings. You'll still be able to finish the course. Can't tell you the exact details of the penalty, but it's a substantial penalty that is fair to the race, but it's a real penalty.
Dave, I know you're going to put a good penalty in there. You know I like a good penalty. I don't like these little easy run things. And Forders are known for all their strengths and that, so I'm thinking make them do a Decker Strong.
It's a hefty penalty.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I think that's where we're all going to go now, isn't it, Dave? Do you think that's where a lot of things are going to go down the 3 ban system?
I think so. I mean, obviously the British champs that's happening is obviously slightly different. But I think overall it's the feel that that's going to go that way. It's certainly that way in Europe. It's that way in the World Championships. I think it's here to stay, at least for a little while. So I think everyone's kind of starting to get around their head around it now. It works. It's a good system that works logistically. It helps with keeping the courses clear, but it gives the racers a fair chance to have make a mistake, which happens in a race every now and then. But those guys that have really worked on that technical ability shouldn't have any problems keeping their bans when it comes to technical races. So I think it is the way forward. Certainly the way forward for the next sort of short-term future, I would suggest, until something maybe something else that comes around. But I think the days of mandatory completion may be gone. And this is kind of that middle ground, isn't it? It's a penalty for losing 1 or 2 obstacles and making mistakes, which can happen whilst you're racing. But it's I think it's here for the longer term.
Yeah, I think everyone knows my thoughts on mandatory obstacles. It's not fair. But then again, the penalty loops need to be reasonable. There's nothing. We don't want to see what happened in Mexico, where athletes touched the obstacles and ran the penalty loops in seconds. We need solid penalty loops. I know you'll be up there. You'll be keen on that, being a racer yourself and that. So yeah, I believe it's in good hands. It sounds to me like the 3K, the British 3K National Series, National Championship race is in good hands, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Anything else? Have I missed anything? What have I missed?
Bibles of you right now.
Quickly touch on Decker Strong. If someone wants to sign up for Decker Strong on the day, could they do the 3Ks in the morning and then the Decker Strong in the afternoon, or is it going to be the other way around? Is there a format for that, Darren?
You know what? That's a question we're trying to answer. So we know that if someone does the Open at the moment, then they could do the Decker first early on, and then do the 3K, and then I think this comes down to getting the entries in and then getting the wave times out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the idea, we want people to do it, so
yeah,
we're going to try it out and make it a bit easier for them. I've had a few questions about it, so
yeah, there's definitely an appetite for it in people that we're kind of talking to, both in both directions as well. So like people looking at the open waves from an OCR perspective, and then vice versa. The championship races looking to have a good go at Decker as well. It's a perfect opportunity. It's the perfect facility for it as well. So like if anyone's ever sort of considered one or the other, then they should definitely get on it. But it is going to come down to that thing of like timings and making sure that people are signing up to waves so that we can plan these sort of things. Obviously, it doesn't just happen overnight. So the earlier people sign up, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do. But also the idea of having both events on, because of the way the site is, having Decker on. We want to try and get a bit of an atmosphere going there, get people in, and then we should hopefully get a bit like some of our other events where people have come down. There's a lot going on, and then we'll get them to have a little chance to see some of the OCR stuff and vice versa, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that'd be good for both sports. But I think at this moment in time, fitness racing is on a huge high. And being selfish from an OCR point of view, I want to fetch some of them over to our side rather than just see them keep defecting to it.
There's definitely an interest in it. Even as we've been in it, I'm getting people message saying they've signed up. to the OCR who have come through, who train here, have come through the fitness racing thing. And some of them would be quite good as well. I think the people who technically message me.
Yeah, it's like Dave was saying, like there's some fit people there.
Yeah.
Like learn some skills to get across a rig, and they're in there really. So it's definitely an appetite for people to be there.
I think there's a couple of people who are in the fitness racing. JFit, he's done Spartans, I believe, so he could quite easily move into it. He's got the running background as well. So, there are quite a few people I think that could easily make that transition.
I think it's proven, and when you see that there's some OCR races doing really well in High Rocks and things like that, it's proven that if you can handle yourself in both of them competitions, then there's no reason why people that haven't been exposed to OCR yet won't be able to do the same thing when they do try it. So you will see it 100%. It's just they've just got to have their eyes sort of opened and the opportunity in front of them.
Fantastic, yeah. And if you want to sign up for DECA, same website, fordersgymbirmingham.co.uk.
Yeah, you can find it through there, but that will take you to a link onto the DECA website. So you can find it on the DECA Fit website as well. So you purchase your tickets through their platform.
Fantastic, guys. Look forward to seeing you. Hope we can see you down there as well. I'm going to send Ian down to see you. I know he'll love it down there to catch up with you guys. Thank you for joining me, guys. It's been a pleasure having you on. Pleasure chatting to you and finding out more. And yeah, best of luck.
Cheers, Alan. Thanks, Alan.
Oh, thank you for listening to that, everyone. Are you going to go? I think I'm going to go. It's not too far from me, Birmingham. I think I'm going to head down. Maybe Ian could do DECA and I will do OCR. Don't know if I'm going to run. Might do. Who knows? But don't forget to sign up if you're interested in it. Drop them a line. Let them know the criteria why you want to run in the elite wave. Or are you just going to run an age group? Or just going to run it for fun? Whatever you do, it is going to be fun. Like I say, thank you for listening. If you like our podcasts, please join our patrons. We are very, very close to breaking even with all our costs, me and Ian, which is absolutely amazing. But we want to be able to do more for you guys. And the more funds that we can get coming in from the kitty means we can go down and we can do things like we're going to do. This past weekend, we went down to British Obstacle Sports and we did some filming and brought you some live footage. Big thank you to everyone who goes down there and did all that for us. What an amazing time it is to be in OCR. What an amazing time. If you want to be a patron, just click the link. You get to join our secret pub as well on Facebook, where we actually share a lot of our ideas of what we want to do. And you also get to listen to these podcasts early as well, which is always good. In the meantime, thanks for listening. You take care. You stay safe. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a